On this, the 29th day of September 2015, the Franklin D. Roosevelt Freedom Medal is awarded to the Honorable Ruth Bader Ginsburg. As an Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court, you are one of 9 individuals tasked with interpreting our nation's Constitution, a position that confers both sweeping power and tremendous responsibility. Power because in a closely divided court, your every opinion carries the potential to reshape American society. And responsibility, because you view the Constitution as a living document, 228 years in the making, reflecting on your work and legacy, the legacy it will leave. You said, "I think of how the Constitution begins, we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union." But we're still striving for that more perfect union. And one of the perfections we seek is for we, the people, to include an ever-enlarged group. You know what it is to be one of the people who isn't counted and to strive for more. From a young age, your mother instilled in you a love of learning. But when she died of cancer just a day before your high school graduation, you found yourself excluded from the Jewish mourning rituals that followed because of your gender. At Cornell, you met your future husband, Martin, and after graduation, you married and began a family and faced a dramatic pay cut after informing your employer that you were pregnant. You enrolled in Harvard Law School in the first year it was open to women and became a member of the Harvard Law Review despite facing discrimination from fellow students, professors, and even the dean. You finished your law degree at Columbia but received no job offers despite graduating as valedictorian of your class. Later, after joining the faculty at Rutgers, you began to work on sex discrimination cases referred to you by the ACLU. In 1971, your brief in the landmark case, Reed versus Reed, persuaded the all-male Supreme Court to strike down a law on the grounds of sex discrimination for the first time in United States history. Afterward, you became co-director of the ACLU's newly founded Women's Rights Project. Over the next years, you tried 7 more equal protection cases before the court, winning 5 and establishing a heightened standard of judicial scrutiny for sex-based discrimination. In 1980, you were appointed by President Carter to the U.S. Court of Appeals and for the Washington, D.C. District Circuit. 13 years later, President Clinton nominated you to the Supreme Court, and by a vote of 96-3, you were confirmed as just the 2nd woman and the first Jewish woman to join that distinguished body. In the years that followed, you have continued to champion the rights of the oppressed and the disadvantaged. In 1996, your majority opinion in the case of United States versus Virginia established that the exclusion of women from state-supported schools violated the 14th Amendment. Even in the minority, your incisive dissents have made you a hero, some say notorious, to all progressives. Your persuasive power is such that when you were named one of Time's 100 most influential people, your conservative friend and colleague, Justice Antonin Scalia, wrote, "I can attest that her opinions are always thoroughly considered, always carefully crafted, and almost always correct." Like Eleanor Roosevelt, whose statue is on display in your chambers, you have risen to a position of power and privilege informed by your experience as an outsider, and you have used your influence to advance the cause of freedom for women and minorities, for breaking down barriers with your courage, intellect, and perseverance, for setting the standard for progressive legal scholarship, and for all that you do to inspire future generations of women and men to pursue careers in law and public service. We are proud to honor you this evening with the 2015 Franklin D. Roosevelt Freedom Medal.